System designed by the inventor of the Rubik's Cube. And a special welcome to those of you who've travelled from outside Auckland to be here for this evening of celebration. Auckland, consistently ranked among those surveys of most livable cities in the world, ranked highly. This comes as a surprise to those of us who actually live here. And imagine how highly the city would rate if, at this iconic New Zealand sporting venue, the Blues could actually play. You may not know this, but early in the Super Rugby season, a Blues supporter was leaving here and he noticed nailed to a tree a season ticket to watch the Blues play. And he thought, I'll have that. In these tough economic times, you can never have too many nails. Actually, when I think of the Blues and their record these days, I'm reminded of Scottish comedian Billy Connolly, who followed a lesser-known football team called Partick Thistle. And he said he was 10 before he realised they weren't called Partick Thistle nil. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate and we recognise excellence, and we celebrate and recognise achievement. We are in for a terrific evening. I do want to acknowledge the sponsors. I've spent a great deal of my professional life talking about sport, and I know an event like this evening doesn't just happen. In fact, it can't happen as it does without good and understanding sponsors. And I acknowledge Julian Cook, CEO of Summerset Retirement Villages, who is with us here tonight. And I would also like to take a moment to recognise the partners of the players who are here tonight. As we all know, bowls can be a time-consuming sport. It's hardly the 80-minute game that Eden Park is set up for at the moment. Not that the Blues actually play for 80 minutes, but an understanding partner is a huge help. So I welcome the partners who are here tonight. Now, just quite right too. Now, just quickly, some housekeeping matters to run through. This venue is, of course, a non-smoking area. And if you feel you absolutely have to, then it's outside with you. And by outside, I mean you need to head to the car park, down the elevator, and across the other side of the car park, not next to the building. It is pretty much still winter, so how keen are you really? Could all cell phones and associated items please either be turned off or put on silent? I know this room is full of very important people, but really the world can get by without us for a little while. Please take a note of the exit nearest to you. In the unlikely event of an emergency, as they say on those airline flights, please follow the directions of the staff, they know what to do. In the far more likely event that you will need the toilets, well, you go back past the bar and through the doors across the foyer, and they're right in front of you there. And as usual, you will find a sign on the door indicating women and a sign on the door indicating men, and from that point, you're on your own. If you are a recipient of an award this evening, ladies and gentlemen, please come up to the stage. There'll be a presentation, of course. There will be a photograph. So bring your best smile with you. Don't be shy. You are among friends. And if you would like to do so, there is the opportunity to say a few words, or should I say, a few words. One of the best acceptance speeches I've heard was, "Thank you for saving me for going to work on Monday and having to say that awards don't matter." Awards nights, ladies and gentlemen, are never easy, especially for the nominees. Recently, I was at the Radio Awards, and at this point of the evening, it was suggested that all of the nominees should consider themselves as winners, because by the end of the night, you won't be. And I wasn't. Media is a harsh and unforgiving world. I've been asked to mention that some of the decisions on the awards this evening have been particularly difficult to make, given the quality and the standard of the finalists. The judging obviously then harder than the television series The Bachelor. Girl meets boy, boy meets 23 girls. What could possibly go wrong? Just to run quickly through this evening and how it will unfold, we will have the bulk of the awards, 11 of them shortly, before the buffet. After dinner, a man who makes us laugh at life, and he's won almost every local comedy award going around. We look forward to what Brendan Lovegrove will bring to this evening. It is a night, ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge special people within bowls, and there is much to look forward to. And to officially welcome you here this evening, please welcome to the stage the chairman of Bowls New Zealand, Tony Lepp.
This is a first. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, katoa. Welcome to the Bowls, what's going to be our annual awards evening, and welcome to the Summerset National Awards, and it's on the big screen. I can see it out there. That's pretty cool, eh? Can I please acknowledge our President, Jeanette, and Vice President Robin. Where are you? Just sort of, yep, thank you. And can I please acknowledge my fellow board members who in the bowls community, we're pretty anonymous, you know. I know we're anonymous because my club has never even recognised that I'm chairman of Bowls New Zealand. They don't even know, I don't think. Where are you, Craig, Daniel, Alan and Brett? Alan, Craig, Brett, people might know. So we are the people who are charged with helping Mark govern bowls, and believe it or not, it's a really rewarding job. I've enjoyed my first year as chairman, and we are the quiet people in the business, but we are there trying to make sure the sport of bowls grows and continues, all right? Jeff's already mentioned the awards tonight, but can I welcome the finalists and the award recipients here tonight. I'm not sure when we last had an awards evening, but Mark and the board thought it was really important that we introduce this into our calendar, because it's important that we acknowledge the stars of the game. And tonight is our opportunity to celebrate your success. I get to do this job. I've been doing it for about 25 years in Otago with the Central Otago Sports Awards. And there I say the normal story that you're all winners. But, you know, it's really important that we do sit back and acknowledge our stars. We live in a competitive sporting market, and the stars of our game, who you guys are the ones we leverage off and market ourselves. So thank you for what you've achieved. It's really, really important, because we've got to grow a brand that will attract other people into the game, and you're the reasons we'll do it. Can I also acknowledge our life members and our Hall of Famers who are in the room tonight? As a board, we're living off the legacy that you've provided us, all right? And you've provided us with the today, and I think the today in bowls is really quite exciting. There's a couple of negative trends. Our traditional members are going down and we're losing the odd club. But actually, against the trend of sports losing players, bowls is gaining players, and they're gaining them in that social and casual side of the game. And that's really exciting, because we are growing our numbers. And with that, I think the majority of our clubs, if they accept the importance of social and casual members, that their clubs will survive. So I think it's a good news stories out there with bowls, and that's not the same in all sports. So, you know, we're excited as a board. And finally, can I just thank, as Jeff said, we need sponsors, and I'd like to thank Summerset for putting on and helping us put on these awards today. It's really good that you're here with us tonight. And I was thinking, you know, you see it on television, bowls and your business are really a natural fit. But looking around the room, and when you look at some of the award winners tonight, you're going to have to wait quite a long time for some of our bowlers, all right? Because, to be perfectly honest, a lot of our good bowlers are at an age where they're not going to come and see you for ages, all right? Can I also acknowledge Tower and where are the Dynasty boys? Are they here? They keep changing their names. G'day, guys. I saw you down in Dunedin. Thank you for being part of that sponsorship as well. And have we got someone from the racing board here today? Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'm not actually the most liked person in racing currently, but never mind. I'm president of a racing club that Winston thinks he can sell and move around the town, but never mind. We'll sort that one out. Well, that's me done. I don't want to hold you up anymore. I'm going to leave you in Jeff's capable hands, and I'm going to sit back and enjoy it, and now I can have a wine and really enjoy it. So enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Can I say, too, that listening to Tony and a number of the conversations that I've had about this evening, and having been an observer of your sport for many years, the first Commonwealth Games I was involved with as a broadcaster was Auckland in 1990. And what I've seen is not only the enthusiasm and inspiration that you have in your sport, but also the confidence that you need to succeed. And if I can, for a moment, relate that to the world of football, because I'm reminded of the confidence of a former top football manager in England called Brian Clough, a man not given to understating his own abilities, which may be why he never had the England job. But if you find yourself low on confidence, you could always try one of the famous Brian Clough quotes when he said, "I wouldn't say I'm the best manager in the business, but I'm in the top one." Confidence and being willing to take a chance. Where would Meghan Markle be if she'd said, "I don't want to go on a blind date"? although I'm not entirely convinced that Prince Harry counts as a blind date. To the first of our awards this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to present these awards, I would like to invite Jeanette Sinclair, President of Bowls New Zealand, to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeanette Sinclair. And to the first of the 11 awards before dinner, and all 11 winners go forward to be considered for the Summerset Supreme Award. The finalists for Club of the Year are, and feel free to acknowledge your favourite, or if you're generous of spirit, acknowledge all the finalists. They are Stokes Valley Bowling Club, Tyree Bowling Club, and Wood End Bowling Club. And the winner of Club of the Year is Stokes Valley Bowling Club. The key to a successful bowling club is building a strong connection with the local community. The Stokes Valley Bowling Club has established its club as the heart of community, offering equal parts bowls and a place to meet. Stokes Valley is a progressive and forward-thinking club, a focus on community participation, alongside providing the best bowling environment. Yes, well done, Stokes Valley. The time and effort put in by the club committee and volunteers makes the club an important part of the Stokes Valley and Hutt community.
Thank you. Look, I was hoping not to be first up, but it turns out we are. Just quickly want to say, because obviously I've only got 1 minute, apparently, according to Bowls New Zealand. Look, obviously our sport takes a lot of dedication, commitment and sacrifice. So to all the nominees and all the winners tonight, well done. You know, I've been around in the game for 25 years and I've given up a lot of time, but I guess these are all the rewards of that time that we give up. To Bowls New Zealand, in recognition of the award, we thank you for that. We're only a small club, but we work pretty hard. To our CDO, Keith Slight, we thank you for his continued support as well. To all the members of the Stokes Valley Bowling Club, past and present, this award belongs to everybody that has come through our doors and made the club it is what it is today. So we thank them. So thank you.
Yes, well said. And so we have the first of the 11 contenders for the Summerset Supreme Award. And now to the Coach of the Year. Coaches trying to bring out the technical, passionate and ultimate best. They're there through the countless hours of practice and jubilation and frustration. Often the timing of when to do coaching is all important. Just ask Serena Williams, if you dare. The finalists for Coach of the Year are Raylene Peters, Evan Roberts, and Rachel Wyborn-Curtin. And the winner of Coach of the Year is Rachel Wyborn-Curtin. She's from Wellington, a Bowls New Zealand development coach and a Bowls New Zealand coach developer. As coaches are responsible for training, analysis, instruction and encouragement, but as is evident in Rachel's coaching style, a coach is also responsible for the guidance of the athlete in life, as well as their chosen sport. Rachel, do come up, please. Accept the award. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Wyborn-Curtin. Well respected within the bowls community, Rachel has been instrumental in shaping Wellington's young bowls talent for a number of years, guiding and supporting Wellington bowlers to higher honours. And in 2018, under Rachel's coaching, a number of Wellington's young talented bowlers have had excellent results on the domestic stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coach of the Year, Rachel Wyborn-Curtin.
Wow, and it's not wow. I've done that a few times too, actually. This is great. After quite a tricky few months that I've had, this is wonderful. This is really, truly special. I have many, many people to thank for this. My mum, my dad, who are not here, but they shaped who I was. They created the values and the foundation that I bring to myself and to the future and to my players. To my husband, who is ever tolerant as I fly in the door and fly out continually. And he goes, oh, not another event. To my 2 children, Isaac and Seamus, I shared a journey with them through their life, and they now share this one with me, very much so. To the many coaches, the leaders, and to my mentors, Sharon, Dave, Desley, Evan, and a few others that have just given me little tips that have helped me on my journey. That's critical. To the 2 clubs that have taken me on board and put up with me as I've totally redesigned a coaching program for them, particularly Stokes Valley and particularly Plympton, my home club. But 2 very different programs, but very critical ones. Also to Aotea College, that took me on board 9 years ago. I'm coming up for 9 years coaching in Wellington at Aotea College and have lots of results to show for it. To those players that I've seen come through and continue to bowl, to those that don't, to those that are coming through in the next year. I am taking a bit of a break, but I'll be back. To the players, what splendid company I keep. How could you not coach when you look at the players that we have, when you look at the elite people that we have in one of the most challenging sports? This is shared with you as well. Thank you very much.
Medicinal the sport will be looking forward to having you back. So a good start to the evening then for Wellington and the Hut as we move on to the Club Person of the Year. And the 3 finalists in this category are Graham Clisby, John Latimer, and Vanessa Taylor. And the winner of Club Person of the Year is John Latimer. John has been a dedicated club member of the Westpac Stadium Club for many years, acting as vice president for several. His support for the club is outstanding. He's well respected in the New Zealand bowling community. John, please come up. The smooth running of Westpac Stadium Club can be attributed to John's planning and organisation. Events managed by the club have been run to a high standard, drawing those who attended back to the club as members thanks to his professional delivery. It is this level of service and experience that makes him the go-to person for national events and sponsored games when they come to Dunedin. The most obvious achievement of John's dedication to his stadium club this year has been the big blue-green that replaced the tired incumbent. The Bowls New Zealand Club Person of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, John Latimer.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to thank Bowls New Zealand for this award. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Secondly, I'd like to thank the executive of our stadium down Dunedin. Without their support, I wouldn't be here. Next week is a huge week for us down at the stadium. We pay off the last of our 3 private lenders from the start when the stadium started. And with that payment and the payment to the bank and to the City Council, we've paid $1.2 million back in about 18 years. Without the support and commitment of our volunteers, this would never have happened and there would be no stadium in Dunedin. So thanks very much to all the volunteers in Dunedin that have, over the years, that have made the stadium viable. Lastly, they say behind every man is a good woman, and that is certainly true in my situation. Thank you very much, Maura, for putting up with all the garbage that I bring home every week. It's great talking things through with you, so thank you very much. Thank you.
I always thought it was behind every successful man is a surprised woman. You just know, too, that if John was organising Jacinda Ardern, there would be no problem with her diaries. To the Greenkeeper of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, and there are 2 finalists, and they are Murray Dixon and Morris Symes. And the winner of Greenkeeper of the Year is Morris Symes. The members of Blenheim Bowling Club are lucky to have Morris Symes, as they have access to some of the best greens in the country. And if Morris can't be found looking after the Blenheim Club's greens, it's likely he can be found in the Greater Marlborough area helping out other clubs and greenkeepers. With over 20 years of experience, Morris is still very much hands-on with surface preparation. In 2017-18, the Bowls New Zealand Greenkeepers Association awarded Morris the Outstanding Contribution to Bowls Greenkeeping Award at the South Island Conference. Congratulations to Morris and his 2IC buddy, who can't be with us tonight, but I'm sure he's dressed up for the occasion to celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bowls New Zealand Greenkeeper of the Year, Morris Symes.
First of all, Jeff, I was with you in 1990 in Auckland.
I remember.
And first of all, I'd just like to thank Bowls New Zealand for putting on this awards evening. I'd secondly like to thank the Blenheim Bowling Club for nominating me for this award. And thirdly, I'd like to thank all the greenkeepers and bowls in New Zealand for the outstanding contribution they do. And we are the most unsung heroes, not necessarily me, but every club, whether they have 100 members or 200 members, they also have 100 other greenkeepers other than themselves. I try to do my best for bowls greenkeeping. I've been doing it now. I'm obviously the secretary of the New Zealand Greenkeepers Association. And we try to do the best for bowls in New Zealand. We try to improve our greens to the best in the world, and I'm sure that all the international players that are here tonight will agree that the greens in New Zealand are the best in the world, and we will try and keep them to that same standard. On behalf of myself, I would just like to say a big thank you to a guy that has been a mentor to me. His name is Ron Sabin from the Bowls Papanui Club in Christchurch. Ron has, over the last 20 years since I've been greenkeeping, been supportive to me in every way that is possible, and I am only happy that I'm able to take this away on behalf of the greenkeeping and also on behalf of Ron for what he's done for the game. Thanks very much, everyone.
Morris, as I remember from my first Commonwealth Games in Auckland, you medalled, didn't you, in the men's pair? Rowan Brassey?
Yes.
Yeah, with Rowan Brassey. So, yes, Morris Symes, ladies and gentlemen. So just as everybody is a greenkeeper, so everybody is an umpire, and we've seen at the US Tennis Open that it's not an easy job. And it seems that umpires have never before been more exposed, especially now the rewards are greater and the stakes are higher. So the three finalists, ladies and gentlemen, for Umpire of the Year, they are Michael Johnson, Stephen Sargent, and Sue Way. And the winner of Umpire of the Year is Michael Johnson. And the umpire's role is to ensure competition is conducted in a safe and fair manner, but in line with the laws. Qualities such as integrity, honesty, trustworthiness and respect, they're key. And Michael Johnson from Wellington displays all of these qualities. And recognition of this came with Michael being one of only 4 technical officials from the Bowls New Zealand community to officiate at the Con Games this year on the Gold Coast. He's a member of the Bowls New Zealand Umpires Committee, where he provides support to the wider umpiring community within New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, the Umpire of the Year, Michael Johnson.
Hey, look, I just wanted to start out by saying thanks very much to Bowls New Zealand for this award tonight. It's a fantastic event and really, really stoked to win Umpire of the Year. I do want to acknowledge Steve and Sue, worked very closely with them at the Commonwealth Games, and all umpires that I've worked with over the years. It is very much a team effort in umpiring, and you've got to have each other's back as well. My umpiring journey started about 14 years ago, and I'm really privileged to have worked and been influenced in a really positive way by the likes of Jeanette and Helen and Martin Christensen here. So it's been really good over those years to work with a number of people, umpire many of you here tonight. So really, really glad we can share the evening together. Special shout out to my grandfather Keith Johnson. He has really been a real strong mentor for me over the years. He's been the person I've gone to really get some advice when it comes to umpiring, and he's really pushed me to keep challenging myself and pushing myself further. So look, thanks very much for the evening, and really keen to enjoy the night with you all. Thank you.
So we now have 5 contenders for the overall award as we move in the Development Player of the Year Awards category, male and female. First of all, the finalists for Development Player of the Year, female. There are 3 contenders. They are Paris Baker. Well, young and old bowlers should take note of Leanne. At 56 years young, she has only been playing bowls competitively for 4 years now. And if this year is anything to go by, she will have a long and successful future on the New Zealand bowls scene. She won the Trust's New Zealand Open Women's Singles, an outstanding feat for a junior bowler. For most, this will be a single season highlight, but Leanne was also a member of the 4 who won the Australian Open Championships. Add to this numerous titles with and within Counties Manukau. And Leanne Paulson is very much a bowler you would want to have on your team. The Bowls New Zealand Female Development Player of the Year from Counties Manukau, Leanne Paulson.
Wow, who would have thought 3 years ago I'd be up here? I walked up to the Pukekohe Bowling Club and chucked a few bowls down, and here I am here now. Wow. I'd like to thank Summerset and Bowls New Zealand for putting these awards on. Also, I'd like to congratulate the other nominees, Natasha and Paris. Obviously, they had a great season. There's a few people I'd really like to thank. If it wasn't for my teammates, I wouldn't be here. Going across to the Australian Open, we had Marilyn Emerton, Queenslander. She skipped us. What a brilliant lady. Could bowl and just a lovely person. Encouraged Diane Strawbridge from Northland to come with us, and Ling Chu from St Heliers, and we just had a wonderful time. I'd like to thank my New Zealand players that played with me in the pathways, Natasha Grimshaw, my cousin, Garlene Harvey, and Marilyn Bristow. Natasha has been, she just taught me so much about bowling. It's unbelievable how good she can bowl. Just so surprised to be here tonight. Auckland Bowls, putting on the New Zealand Open, and the Trust for sponsoring that event. Just put me out there on the stage, put me under pressure, and so you could to learn to control your nerves. It was just a very wonderful experience. Roger Andrew taught me how to look at the game of bowls differently, that it wasn't all about attack, it was picking your moments to attack, and just playing steady percentage bowls. He took me on and said, look, you've got to work on your mental game. And when I started working on my mental game, my bowls went to another level. So thank you very much, Roger, for that. And I have a very, very good friend called Liz Prattley. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gone across to the Australian Open. I said to her one day, geez, I'd like to go and play over there. And she said, if you go, I'll go. And she came across, sure, she did. She came across with us. She didn't play, but she just was there for support. And she's always there saying that, Leanne, you can do it. Just focus, you can do it, Leanne. And so I thank you very, very much. And so I hope you all have a good evening and successful bowling in the new season.
Well said.
See what can come from just chucking a few bowls down. And so we move on to the finalists for Development Player of the Year, male. There are 3 contenders, and they are Seamus Curtin, Bradley Down, and Caleb Hope. And the winner of Development Player of the Year Male is Seamus Curtin. Well, last summer was a breakout season for young Seamus Curtin of the Stokes Valley Bowling Club and Wellington. At the 2018 BLK National Open Champs, he was a member of combinations that placed 2nd and 5th in the fours and pairs. In the singles, he finished 3rd, a very successful nationals for someone of his age and experience. He claimed the New Zealand Under-21 title. He was a member of the Wellington Inter-Centre title. And Seamus, the New Zealand Bowls community looks forward to following your progress in the years to come. The Bowls New Zealand Male Development Player of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, Seamus Curtin.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you to Bowls New Zealand for this awesome night. I think it's great to celebrate everyone here for their hard work they put in and all the stuff they put into bowls, which is awesome, and I think everyone should be rewarded and everything like that. So a huge thanks to my parents, mum, dad. They've been massive through all my sports. Started off with rugby, started off with cricket, went to basketball, ended up with bowls, a bit different, but still loved all of them, and they were still on the sideline, taking me to the trainings, taking me to everything, and just being the number one support with everything. And it's can't thank you both enough. So thank you. To also my coach, which happens to be my mum. Like I just said, the support she shows on the side of the green, whether it's raining, hailing, windy in Wellington, or anything like that. She's sitting on the side on her little chair with her notes and everything, sitting there and just being that number one support. And I can look over at her and just get that relaxed vibe and just get back into the game. So thank you a lot, and Coach of the Year over there. So and also just thanks to Stokes Valley and Plymouton. I grew up and was down there when I was about 4 years old, and thank you to Stokes Valley for taking me on and taking this journey on the last 3 or 4 years. So thank you.
Quite the family affair this evening then, with mother and son taking away awards tonight. They've got the bowls gene, and I think they've got the talking gene as well. What a family. The finalists for Player of the Year Female, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 contenders: Mandy Boyd, Joe Edwards, and Caitlin Inch. And the winner, Player of the Year Female, Joe Edwards. So en route to her Commonwealth Games gold medal glory, Jo helped the Blackjacks secure their first Trans-Tasman trophy since 2011, medalled in the World Cup indoor singles, and won the BLK New Zealand national singles title. However, it is for the Games' success that the bowls community and the wider New Zealand sporting community will most remember Jo for this year. Shaking off an early round-robin loss, she would go on to win 4 must-win games to clinch Bowls New Zealand's only gold medal at the Gold Coast Games, continuing a fine tradition for women's bowls and for Jo at the Commonwealth Games. And I remember that final, 15-10 down after 15 ends, coming back to win it. A classic display of staying calm under pressure. Bowls New Zealand Female Player of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, Jo Edwards.
Thanks very much to Bowls New Zealand for putting on this night. It's great to see so many influential players and support staff, coaches and that here in one room. Congratulations to all the nominees and the finalists and the winners. Obviously it's great to see, with success you need to reward it, and to see so many people here is pretty cool. You don't get to do what we do just by yourself. So to my teammates, especially in the Blackjacks, it's such a great team to be part of, and one that I hope to be part of for a while to come. But to my two clubs, United Bowling Club in Nelson and to Club Pine Rivers in Brisbane, where we currently live. We may live in Australia, but our hearts are always in New Zealand. To my family and friends, it's hard to get up here and speak about them because it's pretty emotional. They've seen a lot of ups and downs, but to have their continued support and love, it's hugely appreciated. And number one, sitting down there, Scruff. Love you, mate. Cheers.
And good on you, Joe, too. To the finalists for Player of the Year Male, the three contenders: Seamus Curtin, Ali Forsyth, and Shannon McElroy. And the winner, Player of the Year Male, is Ali Forsyth. A New Zealand representative since 2005, he represented New Zealand in the November Trans-Tasman Series, the BPL, World Cup Indoor Singles and the Commonwealth Games this past summer. Through this period, he had an excellent international season, 32 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. Skipping the men triples and fours, New Zealand was successful in taking out the overall Trans-Tasman Trophy for the first time since 2011, in addition to the bronze and the...
Thank you very much. Just a huge thank you to Bowls New Zealand and Summerset for putting on tonight. Wonderful. Pretty much reiterate most of what Joe's just said. Look, huge thank yous and a lot of help that we get to do what we get to do at the highest level. To my teammates amongst the Blackjacks, as well as at a club level. Very privileged that I get to play in Australia all year round, but obviously still call Nelson home. So I have great connections with the Stoke United and Nelson clubs in Nelson, as well as the Clayton Bowling Club in Melbourne. Big thank you to all of them. To my family, a big thank you, and to my partner Kelly. It's quite an awkward situation sometimes to be away at an international competition, and to really have her support as well as my teammates is huge. And to all my teammates domestically, a big thank you. And finally, to the support staff within Bowls New Zealand, coaches and support. You guys are amazing. You do a great job behind the scenes and probably don't get enough credit for the great stuff you do. So big thank you to you as well. Cheers. Thank you.
It's 32 international wins in 38 games, an impressive summer for Ali Forsyth. So we now have 9 contenders for the Summerset Supreme Award, 2 more awards before dinner. The finalists for the Para Sport Award. There are 3 of them. David Stallard, Bruce Wakefield, and the Commonwealth Games 2018 Para Triples team. And the winner is the Commonwealth Games 2018 Para Triples team. Well, Barry Winks and Mark Noble had both come home from Glasgow with a silver. In 2018, they went to the Gold Coast with new teammate Bruce Wakefield, and in a highly competitive field repeated their feat of 4 years previous. In the final, the New Zealand trio was in trouble at 10-3 down. They rallied brilliantly to take the lead over the Aussies at the 14th end. The Aussies responded. It came down to the last bowl, the Aussies winning 14-13. 3 mates off the green, their spirit and skill on the green is acknowledged with this award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commonwealth Games 2018 Para Triples team.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for Summerset for putting on this evening, as well as Bowls New Zealand. It's been a pretty amazing 2 years. The lead up to the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games was a couple of Australian Open adventures to find out what it was like over there and give myself a chance to get in the team. Special thanks to the Bowls New Zealand coaching and management team, especially Koshik, my roommate at Gold Coast. An experience we'll never forget, will it, Koshik? There's lots of highlights of the game, but the camaraderie that Mark and Barry and I built up as a triple is... Mark and Barry knew each other very well from Glasgow. I was the new boy. Yeah, we got a bit of a popularity event during games and had a lot of fun, and we enjoyed each other, rooming together and experiencing the village life, and the experience of everything that went on over there was just something that was phenomenal that we'll never forget, and we'll enjoy it, and hopefully we can do it again in 4 years' time and just get one better than that silver and beating on the last bowl. Thank you very much.
First of all, thanks Bowls New Zealand and Summerset for making this evening possible for us bowlers. For me, I've got a few thank yous to my wife and to my family. Give up a lot of time for us guys to bugger off and play bowls. We're away for 2 odd years preparation for this event. To my own personal coach Sharon, 2014, even before that we were doing work. So thank you for your time in helping me get to where we've got to. Funny thing about for us and the para, most of you guys give an arm and leg to play for New Zealand. We've actually got guys that do give arms and legs. Because as you all will know, we're 2.5 players because my buddy Barry's not here. And of course his name is Halfman, as you all will know. So it's just good to have the support of the other Blackjacks that we got when we were away. Joe in particular, your help was pretty good for me anyway. So thank you to everyone for your support. Thank you.
Well done. Yes, our final award in this part of the evening is a new award for Team of the Year. Bowls has one of the largest numbers of adult participants in New Zealand, and for those who commit to a team, show up to training and build rapport, a team can be a second family. You ride the highs and lows together, you fight the same fights, you win and lose the same battles, and if you're lucky enough to have wins to share and medals to tell stories about, with the stories becoming bigger and better as the years roll on. In fact, every time I get together with a successful cricket team I played in, I'm sure I can hear Bruce Springsteen singing Glory Days all the time. The Team of the Year this year shows the qualities I was talking about. They spend hours together training and competing. And the 3 finalists for Team of the Year are the Canterbury Women's Intercentre Team, the Wellington Men's Intercentre Team, and the Commonwealth Games 2018 Para Triples Team. The winner of Team of the Year is the Wellington Men's Intercentre Team. And it is fitting that this new award for Bowls New Zealand goes to a side that demonstrates that strength and success does not always come from individual abilities. In the 2018 Intercentre event, the Wellington men's side, after qualifying for the post section, beat Central Otago 3-0 in the quarter-final, followed by another clean sweep in the semis against Marlborough 3-0. Their one loss in post section play came in the final against a competitive Dunedin side, Wellington winning 2-1 to claim a deserved title. A victory built on an investment in youth mixed with a few wise old heads. So congratulations to Seamus Curtin, Ben King, Robbie Bird, Raymond Martin, Bradley Down, Grant Wakefield, Richard Corrie and the manager Lee Griffin. The Bowls New Zealand Team of the Year from Wellington.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks very much to Bowls New Zealand. Thank you to Summerset. Without sponsors, these things can't occur. Look, for me, I'm just part of a team of 8. So, on behalf of the Wellington Intercentre team who can't all be here, I just want to thank Bowls New Zealand and, of course, Summerset. For me, I've worn a couple of hats in this team. I've been a player for some time. They convinced me to be a selector this year, which I said no, probably in a different way many times, but they managed to convince me. I'm very, very glad and thank Bowls New Zealand because, even though I had played, being a selector has probably been the most rewarding part of my career over probably 30 odd years. And special mention to Helen, my wife, who has had to listen to various iterations of teams, which we finally got down to 7, or with Lee 8. Special mention, I know I've only got a minute, or about 10 seconds, to Lee. I think it's probably the first time that a female has managed a winning male inter-centre team. And on behalf of all the team who can't be here, Lee was a fantastic manager, so I'd just like to make special mention. Thank you. That's all from me.
Is it my imagination, or does my old hometown of Wellington seem to have done very well tonight? All that and the place to be, according to the travel guide Lonely Planet. And I can't begin to tell you how much fun it is to be a Hurricanes fan living in Auckland. Thank you, Jeanette, for handing out the awards. Congratulations to our 11 winners. Now, still to come tonight, we'll hear from Brendan Lovegrove, who's been smashing comedy out of the park since way back. That will be followed by an inductee into the Hall of Fame, and then the Summerset Supreme winner. We will now break for dinner. It's a buffet arrangement, and to avoid an out-and-out feeding frenzy at the buffet, please wait for a member of the catering staff to come to your table to invite you up to the buffet. Enjoy your meal. Thank you.